All right, guys, we're going to do this fun painting of the Northern Lights with these, a 24 count set of Crayola Washable Markers. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I am going to share with you how I made this fun little aurora on watercolor paper. We're using 140-pound Arteza 100% cotton expert watercolor paper. All the links for all of my materials are down below in the more information box below the video, and if you are new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button and make sure to turn on your notifications so you'll be notified when new videos go up. I'm going to go ahead and grab out the pens. I'm looking here and saying, what pens do I want? Maybe a darkish blue and a lightish blue and a pink and the black and a yellowy green. I think that's all we're going to need. I got these pens on sale right after back to school, and I spent about $4.50 for the 24 count, and that was just this last year. That's not even like years ago prices. I am really excited. We're going to use some other materials on here also. I will be using some Arteza gouache and spattering with this. So starting off, I want to get my dancing aurora going. So I'm going to lay in a nice amount of pen. I'm taking a water brush, just any water brush, and getting this nice and wet. Really getting it wet and letting that pigment dissolve. Look at that. And then I have a paper towel right here to wipe off my pen. But to start off, we also need to get some of these other colors on. So I want to get my dark blue sort of laid in up here. Oh, if you hear a squeak, it's my chair, and my back has been hurting, so I'm using my wobble stool. You know, it's a balance chair type of thing, but it has a squeaky base. Now I want to get this nice and dark up here in the top corner, and maybe leave a little bit of some white so that way there'll be some variation. And do the same thing over here. I just have a piece of paper down on my table. Sort of protects the surface a little bit. Just put a little extra of that pigment in here. Now these pens are nice. They have a beveled edge to them, so you can get a wide stroke or a pointy detailed stroke. And like that. I'm going to go ahead and get these other colors sort of laid in. I want a slightly different blue. There. And maybe right here. See, I can work that right into the edge of the first pigment that's even wet. Maybe we'll do that. Ooh, yeah, see? You could even take this and draw along it a little bit, and we can get a little bit of this dancing along inside. That's going to be cool. Now I want some of the pink also. I'm going to go ahead and just lay it on. And maybe put a little bit of that up here. And right over here. Now see, it looks really messy. It doesn't look like anything special yet, does it? We're going to go ahead and start getting... Ooh. I'm going to let that just flow on down there. Sometimes those little things that happen, those happy little surprises, are actually happy. I'm going to just work this pigment around. See, look at that. Wet brush. And this is just a water brush. It just has plain water in the handle. And sometimes if you squeeze too hard and water comes out more quickly than you were expecting, it's okay. It does something unexpected. Oh, I'm really enjoying that. Look at that. How quick. How quick. And truthfully, you can go in. And so then you can take your brush and you can go in and sort of wiggle your pigment around a little bit and see if you want to smooth out your background, sky, pull some of those colors back through. Because you can pick up the color from outside where you put down that heavier concentration and just work it across. I want to get right up into that green right there. And if you want to see this being done with the Arteza pens, I did that on Friday on a live stream. Okay, I'm using just the paper towel and squeezing some water out. And look at that. Brush tip is all clean. Now I do want to dry this really quick. So I'm going to use my little heat tool here. After I sprinkle the stars on, I think I want to paint white mountains, white, blue, gray mountains instead of the brown. So let's see how that goes. Any paintbrush that can hold a bit of water, but not too much. You don't want to be splattering, a ton of water all over this. You could do your splatter with acrylic paint. I'm just going to grab a pen and see, I want to pick up a bit more of that paint. I want some heavier stars also. So I need something harder that I can whack on. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're getting some stars in here. So first we got the lightweight stars. Now we've got some heavier stars, and I'm going to make a couple of these stars into special stars. So I need a brush. You can do this with your white pigment ink also. This happens to be my favorite. It is the Uniball Signo Broad. It's the UM 153. So I put out some fresh white gouache so it's not too watery. I'm running a liner brush around in that, making sure it's at a nice point. I'm going to choose one of these spots here. I might put a few more with the darker, heavier application of the gouache. Maybe brighten up a couple of these stars. Gouache will absorb some of the color of the ink below, especially with these Crayola markers. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and make this into a special star by drawing up, down, going right and left, and then going at the little middle bits, quarters, basically making an X. Oh, yeah. And then if you want to, you can put a couple little like refraction lines running around. Well, the whole thing is a refraction from the telescope. But let's see. So we've got that big one. And now I want to do a little bit smaller one. Right here, we're just going to go small. Barely touching the brush to the paper. Maybe one more tiny one up here. Yep, I like to do things in threes. So, tiny one right up here. Do it in whatever order works for you. There we go. Okay, so I really like this sort of shape that I've got going on right here. I think we're going to go in with the white gouache. So I need more. And we will just take some of this blue pen and put it on the tile and use that to dye the gouache. I just have a 1/2 inch bright. They call it a stroke. It's a Princeton. So I am loading up my brush, front and back. Then I'm going to take a corner and see how this goes. I want to go up and come down. I want to bring my mountain up high enough. Bring that mountain way up. There we go. And if some of that sky part, the blue of the sky and the purple of the sky shows through the mountains, it's just going to end up looking like part of the snow, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, that actually is really cool. You know what? I think this mountain over here just needs to be up higher. It really is just a big old mountain. And all I'm doing is kind of Bob Rossing the mountains, you know, whatever feels good. Maybe getting another little mountain here in front. And running some of that gouache across. You were here for the aurora. I don't know why I'm so worried about making the mountains work. But you know what? Good enough is good enough. If you are one of the 70% of people watching my video that have not already clicked the subscribe button, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Join our fun, creative community here on YouTube. I have a Facebook page also that's Deliberately Creative. And if you want to support me, you can purchase things through the affiliate links down below. I will earn a small commission. And if you want to support me without having to buy stuff, but maybe get some stuff, I have a Patreon, and I'd love to have you join me over there. We're going to be getting more behind the scenes and special little treats. Check it out. Thank you guys. Remember to go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. Isn't it pretty?